Hey everyone, BadgerStateJobs.com here, looking to give everyone some tips on using visual impact while writing your resumes. Visual impact is the use of formatting tools to make resumes more eye-catching. Some of those tools include bold text, italics, underline spacing, bullet points, and even white space on the page. So how are you going to use visual impact? Visual impact formatting should not be overused. That's one of the most important things about it. You don't want to be bolding words all over the place. Underlining random things that you might think are important. A lot of times that just leaves the resume looking fairly cluttered and not pleasing to the person's eye. Visual impact should stay consistent throughout the resume. So all titles should be bolded. Different sections, if you choose to bold the section name, then they should all be bolded. Keep that consistent as possible. Visual impact should be balanced and pleasing to the eye. Always keep it balanced. That's one of the most important things because that's what immediately catches the person's eye. White space on the page, even though it seems like it could be completely unimportant, you want the white space to be the same throughout, and it does need to be existent. You don't need to fill up the whole page with information. Here's a nice example of using visual impact. As you can see, the white space is pretty even. It's actually really even. It's balanced. This resume is really nice to look at. Education and experience are both set off to the left side, so the headlines for each section of the resume are consistent. You can see that right from the start. University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, the Midwest accounting firm, and Amazon Distribution Center, all of those are using the same formatting, bold, and with the position titles in italics. Now this presentation here isn't about content. You could definitely choose that. The most important thing to bold would not be the institutions, but maybe things about yourself. Maybe the job title should be bolded. That's fine. That's something that you can choose. The important part here is that it stays consistent throughout the entire resume. With the white space as well, you can see that underneath education and underneath experience, you have the same amount of white space. Same thing as between the different jobs that this person had. There's that nice spacing there that lets the person know that you're moving on to the next job, the next subject. So some things to avoid when using visual impact. It's easy to get out of control and start bolding different things, different keywords, things like that. That can be really dangerous. You don't want to use paragraphs or large blocks of text. Nobody wants to read large blocks of text. Unbalanced use of visual impact can make it look pretty messy. An unbalanced series of bullet points. So this resume here is an example of a resume that's pretty bad off. I, as a hiring manager, wouldn't take more than 5 seconds to look at this resume before moving on. I don't want to try to decipher where things start and stop here. It's really, really blocky, and it completely takes up the whole page. There's way too much information there. Bad resume number 2. This resume is a little bit better. They did use some visual impact here, some lines to separate sections. They bolded some stuff with the titles. Concerning things here are the 2 sections have completely different formats. The tax director, symbol tax manager section, and then professional experience have 2 completely different. They went different directions there with the style of formatting. Which can be confusing, and then just tons and tons of text. Nobody in their right mind would want to read all that text, especially if you wrote that resume. You would want to read that text, and it would seem important to you. But as somebody that didn't write it, there's a very slim chance that they're going to take the time to read that. So how do you know if you're using visual impact correctly? Super easy. Print off the resume that you created. Print off a couple different resumes off the internet. Take it to your spouse, take it to your kid, take it to anybody, and ask them which one they would like to read without looking at them at all. They don't have to read the content. Just look at each one, tell you which one they want to read. If yours wasn't chosen, then you're probably going to want to go back to the drawing board and change some things up.